The Bitcoin downtrend is continuing, and right now we are seeing clearly a structure of an inverse parabolica. And on today's update video, I am going to be breaking down what this means for the Bitcoin price action right now here. When are we going to be seeing the bottom getting found for Bitcoin? I am going to be, of course, discuss this all in today's update video. I will talk about why we got this ever so slight bounce in the market. I'm going to talk about the most important levels of support I am currently seeing in the market right now. And obviously, as well, I am going to talk about how much strength I am currently seeing in this slight little bounce towards the upside. I'm going to be discussing my trades, the setups, and so much more on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in today's update video. And that is that, of course, currently we are seeing the big continuation towards the downside exactly happening. And if you've been watching any of my previous videos, you did know that I, of course, have been predicting this exact downturn on Bitcoin for the last few weeks here / days. So yes, it has been very exciting. And actually yesterday, yesterday we did create an ever so slight bottom on the market after also we got the news that President Trump says that he could potentially move up China's 100% tariff deadline from November the 1st. So yes, once again, people are potentially seeing that this is going to be a bluff, that he's going to be extending the timeline. And that is, of course, why the market also did saw a slight little relief over here. But ultimately, if we're looking at Bitcoin, what we're seeing right now is, of course, a downward sloping trend here. We're trading in a downtrend. After, of course, before clearly we were trading in an uptrend. Now, ever since the major correction towards the downside, we are creating lower highs every single freaking time. And we are creating lower lows on the lower side. So we're clearly trading in a bearish trend here. We're trading in a downward sloping trend here. And whenever this trend is going to be shifting is, of course, where we want to be going aggressively in towards our positions, right? And if you've been watching the channel for a while here, you did know I've already set up most of my orders on Bitcoin, 102, $100,000, $98,000. Those are the levels where I want to be scaling in towards my long trades here. But as of for now here, I am not doing so yet so far. Why? It's because personally, if I'm looking at this consolidation phase right now here, we are of course seeing that we're creating an inverse parabolica. So basically what tends to be happening with these patterns is that Bitcoin tends to drop harder and harder and deeper and deeper. If you, for example, invert the chart, you can clearly see, okay, it is going more and more exponential. So that is basically what we're seeing. But now it is, of course, just inverted and it is going towards the downside. And yes, I've already talked about my levels where I want to be scaling in for a long time. One of the levels I'm looking at is $102,000, which is, of course, the previous low in the market right here, which acted as major support here for Bitcoin. Also, if I'm going to be looking at other levels, the $98,000 is also a very significant level here for Bitcoin as well, where we got major resistance and support from in the past as well. And that $98,000 towards $100,000 level corresponds with the 50 weekly moving average. And historically, the 50 weekly moving average is one of the most important levels of support and resistance. You saw it also in the previous Bitcoin bull market. This was the level that held us up here and created a major bounce towards the upside. And also so far in this bull market, we came back. This was the golden opportunity also right here in October, September 2024. We came back towards this level. This was the golden opportunity. So really, if we are going to come back towards this level, I'm at least expecting an ever so slight strong bounce for the Bitcoin price action. And of course, one of the warnings I do want to be talking about is, of course, the fading demand on Bitcoin right now here. Because if we're looking at the weekly time frame, there are a lot of signals that Bitcoin right now is, of course, getting a little bit overextended. You can currently see on the weekly time frame, we are creating clearly higher highs on the top side. But if we're then looking at the RSI, we're creating lower highs every single time here. And this gives us a clear signal that we're creating a bearish divergence, which means that basically momentum is getting lost on the higher time frames. And this usually historically tends to signal a top in the market. And this, of course, also happens in 2021 to 2022 here. Here also, we created this bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. And it marked the exact bottom in the market. And for example, whenever you create a bullish divergence, which of course happened on the exact bottom in the market, the vice versa, exactly the same happens, right? So you're creating a lower low in the market, higher low in RSI. So these are things to take very seriously because these are signaling major trends in the market. So here it signaled a major trend towards the downside in the market. Here, this bullish divergence signals a major bullish trend in the market. And now, once again, we're going to see a bearish divergence play out. And this could be potentially signal a more bearish period in the market. So this is, of course, something I'm taking very seriously right now. And I want you to take seriously as well here. So things are currently playing out are not necessarily meaning it has to happen right now here, right? Because also, I am still looking to open up long positions. I think the top is particularly close on Bitcoin right now here. And yes, I will be, of course, taking this very much in account in the upcoming periods in the market. But currently, we are still seeing some liquidity being built up above us. Also looking at the funding rates right now here, of course, it is weekend, so it's a little bit more unclear where we're exactly moving towards, but the funding rates are starting to shift a little bit negative. And this is, of course, a very great thing here, because historically, whenever funding rates go negative, it tends to be marking bottoms. And especially what I would like to see, what I also mentioned in previous videos, is that if we are going to get a bounce towards the upside, for example, and we see funding being negative along the way up here, that it really confirms for me that there is strength in the market and that there's going to be a continuation. Because if the funding remains to be negative, but the bounce happens, it shows a lot of spot buying. And that, of course, is going to signal that we are going to see a bigger squeeze towards the upside to squeeze out those short positions. For example, that also exactly happened over here. Here we had negative funding, and that, of course, we were, of course, in the middle of a rally towards the upside, and that sentimented, of course, the continuation towards the upside. So those are things I really like to see here. Also, for example, over here it happened. Also, for example, over here it happened. We had a major bounce towards the upside with negative funding rates, and that signals the continuation higher. So once again, this is going to be one of the signals I'm going to be looking for. If I see this signal occur, then of course I'm going to be saying, okay, now it's a great time to be going in towards long positions. Maybe we're going to be missing the exact entry, but of course I am going to stay adaptive. And if you want to be staying up to date on all my trades here, I would highly recommend to just join my VIP Telegram group, which is in the second link on today's video description. It's very easy to join, very valuable. I'm giving updates on my trades, other professional traders giving updates on their trades. So yeah, if you want to be staying up to date, make sure to join it for sure over there. And you have to understand, quantitative easing is about to start anytime soon here. And this has a very big link with Bitcoin. So that is, of course, interesting to be knowing. And also, I do want to be mentioning the fact, guys, if you want to be trading on a cheap and reliable and a safe exchange here, VX is definitely the best way to do so. I am taking my trades on VX. And if you are doing it as well, guys, using the first link in today's video description, you will get a 25% fee rebate, making this the cheapest exchange to operate from. And on top of that, guys, they're giving away a free $100 by confirming your email and phone number. And they're giving away up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses by making deposits, right? So make sure to check it out. It is absolutely insane. Then I quickly want to be discussing some things on ETH here. We're currently seeing a bearish divergence happening on the MACD here. This is something that is, in my opinion, quite important to be watching, because historically this signaled very big downturns in the market. But ultimately, right now on ETH, we have broken below this very important level of support. Right now getting rejected, but basically for the trades I have set up here, guys, also for Ethereum, I have major setups. I have major orders set up on the lower side, and those are mainly around this green box right here. So if we can come towards this 0.618 level, I will be definitely happy to scale in very aggressively towards my positions. But as of for now, I am taking it very slow. I'm waiting for my orders to get filled up. And if they don't, I will just wait for the next opportunity. So that is my take on Ethereum. Nothing special. But anyways, guys, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.